Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook, episode 31. I'm Cornell Rowan.
I'm Deshaun Edwards. And how are y'all today, man? We have hit the first quarter of 2024. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? So, first we want to talk about Cornell. What's going on with you, man? It's been 3 months in. We're at the end of March. What has 2024 been for you so far?
Man, I can honestly say this has been a great year. Continuing my fitness goals, staying in the gym at least 4 days a week. Also my finance goals, man. I know this isn't huge. I just got like a little I had a little car note, but my car is now paid off my MacBook. You feel me?
Hey, hey,
So that frees up a little money for me to invest into the market. And speaking of the market has been doing extremely well for me also. When it comes to the stock market and the crypto market. So I would honestly say that 2024 is starting really nicely for me, man. What about you?
No, man, same. 2024 has been definitely a year of firsts. I'll say that. So, beginning of the year, me and my fiance, we were, purchasing a house. We have it now. If you notice the change in background over the past recent episodes, like I got the black background, man, it feels good to accomplish something that you've been trying to accomplish for like years, literally. Like you notice with me, I
Mhm.
don't know how many episodes we've been on, and I'm like, yeah, real estate, but I ain't really in real estate. I don't really own that, so I can't really. Man, I can do that now. You feel me?
Yeah.
I can talk about it. So this has been the major thing for me, my first quarter. But same, stocks have been doing very well between Bitcoin and I'm not gonna lie, even Ford. Ford has been doing well for me, bro. Like seriously, my baby Ford has been doing very well. It actually passed like the 11, $12 mark. It's like $13. You know what I mean? So continuously putting money in that, but everything else too, the SPY, QQQ, all those that I have long term holds in have just been increasing, and it's kind of been exciting to watch. Just it's slowly creeping up, like slowly creeping up. That's the beauty of it, right? Like you, and I remember trading options back in the day, having those days where I would step outside my job and hope that I have a bunch of money. But this is a lot more calm and it's a lot more satisfying because I know these are seeds that I planted a while ago, and now they're starting to grow, you know, pay off. Um, but no, the year has been great so far, man. I have no complaints at all. And of course, Investors Playbook has been growing a lot, which is exciting too. So it's been definitely a good year from the start, man. But speaking of all these stocks, let's dig into it, right? How has the year been for investors or investing in general? Um, I'm gonna start with talking about some of the stocks that have not been performing, right? Some of the popular names that have not been shooting to the moon, as they would say. We're gonna start with Tesla, bro. Like, I think we called this out a long time ago. Tesla's market cap was way higher than it needed to be, given where the price of the stock was. And Since the beginning of the year, Tesla is down 30%, right? It's just been slowly creeping down. And I don't know if it's a fault of Tesla's business model. And I think I don't know. I don't know if it's a fault of Tesla's business model, but I feel like it's just Tesla was over leveraged. It moved too fast. So now the pullback is happening. What about you? What do you think?
I feel like with Tesla, there was too much buyer's confidence.
Mhm.
And I feel like Elon Musk does a great job of captivating his audience. You see what I'm saying? So he's heavy on Twitter, which is now called X, and he can make a tweet and the stock market just go crazy.
Yeah,
So with that, as Tesla started to rise in value, it starts to not make sense when a company that's not making as much as the other automotives, the major automotives like Ford, as you were speaking of, but the market cap is 11 times what Ford is. It starts to not make sense. So I feel like it was past due for Tesla to start decreasing in value. And it might rise to that again, but I still feel like I would be scared to invest in something like Tesla, especially because now they have the competition, which they've always had, but now it's being more prevalent. Like I'm going places and I'm actually seeing Rivian charge stations.
bro, I'm seeing Rivian a lot out here
Yeah.
in California. Yeah.
So with that, I feel like Tesla is too high personally. And is people are saying like it's not just automotives, it's also a tech company. I got to see more innovation in the tech sector. I mean, when it comes to Tesla in tech, for me to want to invest in Tesla.
hmm I think even people calling it a tech company, I mean, it sounds good. It might be because they're utilizing AI for their cars, like their self-driving cars and things like that. But at the end of the day, it is a car company. Like they're not creating laptops or cell phones. Their end model is a vehicle that people can use to get around. That's what Tesla is. They have charging stations, cool. But unless the Tesla car is driving to those charging stations, it doesn't matter. Unless the Tesla car has the AI built into it, it's all about the vehicle, bro.
Right.
So sure, it has technology in it. Every car has technology in it now. But the reality is Tesla is a car company. They build cars. So calling it anything beyond that is a reach for me. But I get why people might say that. But yeah, Tesla isn't the only one, right? Tesla has definitely overstretched. Um, its investors had like a lot of confidence, like you said, but this stock in particular is, I feel like, still feeling the effects of COVID. And when I'm talking about Boeing, bro, like we looked at all of the airline stocks and they did not recover like every other, well, like most stocks did after COVID happened. Southwest, United, Delta, none of them got back to before COVID numbers. They dropped heavily, man, but we know what COVID did. It pretty much stopped travel completely. Like it floored everything. And Boeing being a huge manufacturer for a lot of these companies also felt the effects. But more recently, Boeing has been in the news for other things, right? Like the planes just not performing. And I feel like there's a lot of things you don't have to do perfectly, but flying hundreds of people from one city to another city, that's something you just have to do correctly. It has to be done flawlessly. Um, because a misstep is huge turmoil for folks. Yeah.
It's fatal. And I think they actually had two recent fatal crashes that put a spotlight on quality control for Boeing. And
Mm,
and so I can imagine why the stock is down so much, even though Boeing is needed. You know what I'm saying? It for travel, they gotta do better because at the end of the day, you have people's lives in your hands, and
yeah.
one simple mistake can be fatal for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're talking about a humongous plane, and I think was it Alaskan Airlines? But regardless of what airline it was, a Boeing plane door flew off, people panicking, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
And now, in the more recent news, the CEO is, or the chair, right? He's stepping down.
I saw that.
And I'm not sure exactly why. I didn't like tune into the press conference, but he was basically like, "Yeah, I don't want to be part of Boeing anymore, and I'm interested to learn more about what his reason was." Because Boeing has been in the news for a number of things. Not
but,
to
but
like, go ahead.
but could you imagine like being over a company that like that's building planes and then people are dying because of these planes? Can you imagine that? That's kind of on your conscience. I know it would be on mine because
Yeah,
it's not like you're the CEO of a bed company like Bed Bath and Beyond or
right.
something.
And
You
people
feel
are
me?
sleeping uncomfortably, or
And right, like people are dying, and at the end of the day, they're looking at you. You're the CEO. You're the face of that company.
yeah, but he kind of ran from that though, bro. He was like,
It's not
"Bump
easy.
y'all, I'm out." Yeah, no, I can't
Not
even.
easy.
I can't imagine. I
Not
can't imagine.
easy, man.
Can't imagine, man. And it has to be tough. That has to be tough. And then not even to mention like the whole, I don't even know if I should get into it, but the whole whistleblower thing.
Yeah.
You- Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So there was a Boeing whistleblower saying that, hey, you guys are pretty much building planes in wrong. And I'm letting people know that. Recently came up that he was unalived, basically. Like and that whole thing bringing Boeing into more spot. Like he worked for Boeing, said that they aren't doing things correctly, and then ended up dead, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, people are kind of speculating with that too, right? Like did Boeing have something to do with
With
his
the death.
unaliveness? Yeah. So I don't know. Boeing has just been in the news for a lot of not positive things lately. I mean, again, like you said, their company is kind of vital. They create and build planes that we use on a regular basis, that people use on a regular basis. So I don't think that it's a company that is going to go away. They are just definitely they're just in the news right now for a lot of bad press.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I
Um,
did. That's the proper way to my bad. Yes.
so yeah, so we talked about the stocks that the major stocks that are down right now. But there are
Mhm.
also some positives in the market. Well, really some big positives. So everybody knows AI is going crazy. So like we said in a previous episode, with AI changing the future right now, it's important to be invested in stocks centered around AI. Whether it's whether it's companies that are directly invested in AI, like Microsoft, who has a 49% ownership of OpenAI, or the chip companies that create the chips that are needed for AI. So our biggest gainer is Nvidia, which year to date is up 87%, which is crazy. It's almost doubled year to date. We're 4 months in,
3 months in. Well, 3 months in, bro.
almost four. Tomorrow's April.
4 months in will be the end of April.
Am I tripping?
I think so. The first
Yeah,
quarter is
I think you're
yeah.
right. I think you're right.
First quarter is the
I'm
first 3 months, bro.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I was thinking
So
from the first day. So yeah.
yeah. But no, that's still crazy though, right? Like stocks, this is the normal return, right? Like investing in something like SPY, end of year is like between 10 and 12%. This stock has went up almost 100% in 3 months, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like it is insane. And it does not seem like it's stopping. That's the crazy part. Like it seems like it's on this train that is just plowing through every new 52-week high over and over and over and over and over again. I imagine this might get to 1,000 before the end of April, but we'll see, right?
Yeah.
But it's definitely moved very quickly since the start of the year. Because nah, yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild how fast it's
And
moved.
and
Yeah,
I think it's well deserved, man, for the because all of they created something that all of these trillion-dollar companies need, because Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, they're all investing in AI. And when you
yeah,
have a product that all of these companies need, this makes you a hot commodity. The demand for that is crazy. You see what I'm saying? So I do feel like it's well deserved.
I agree. They know what the big companies need, and they create that for them. So yeah, Nvidia has definitely taken off. Nvidia is not the only chip company, right, that's making moves. You also have AMD. I don't know. I feel like AMD is like Nvidia's little brother or something at this
Quick.
point. Yeah. But AMD is up 30% this year. So Advanced Micro Devices has definitely also been making moves. It hasn't been moving at the degree of Nvidia, but its input to AI, its development of microchips is also not been overlooked, and it's been doing a lot of moving. At one point, AMD was above 200, which has it's leveled off a bit since then, but still year to date 30% is kind of crazy. But again,
Yeah.
normally what you're seeing is 10-12% year over year. So when you see something move 30% in 3 months, 10% a month basically is what's happening with AMD. But they're doing something similar, creating a product that is necessary for use because of the new technology that is artificial intelligence. Um, yeah, so AMD is another one that has been moving wildly, definitely. So
Yeah.
I think between AMD, Nvidia, and just kind of the tech sector in general, I feel like has just been hitting new highs over and over again. And we could
Yeah.
talk about every tech stock, but really, tech sector in general has just been really, yeah, it's just been doing major numbers. That's just what it's been lately. So I
Right.
think we can't talk about tech sector. We can't talk about moving without talking about Bitcoin, bro. Like, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about
Yeah.
that.
So with Bitcoin, year to date, Bitcoin is up 60%. And the craze that's going on with Bitcoin right now is people are speculating a huge increase at the Bitcoin halving event.
Which is
And I
next month, right?
feel like it's next month. Yes. So the thing is, when I look for like an exact date, I can never find it. So I don't know if this is something that is kind of that it moves each year. I mean, each every 4 years that day moves. But yeah, it's supposed to happen sometime soon, and they're speculating a huge increase in Bitcoin when this happens. People are saying that Bitcoin's going to hit 100,000 this year.
This year. Wow.
Yeah,
I I mean, if it moves the way it's moving, it'll hit 100,000. All
I agree.
it needs to just do the same exact thing it did. It's up $26,000 since the year started. If it does that, well, does that a little plus, but it needs to go up by 30,000. But still, I can see it happening at the end of the year, bro.
I could definitely. I would not bet against it for sure. It's
Yeah,
like betting against LeBron James. I wouldn't do it. You
nah,
see what I'm saying? Just returns. The returns on Bitcoin we've seen can be unmatched. Of course, this year to date, Nvidia has a jump on Bitcoin, but we all know that Bitcoin can go to 100,000 tomorrow if it really needed to. You see what I'm
right.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
not something that I would bet against. But with this, you always got to be careful. There's a huge risk in Bitcoin. The volatility is crazy because Bitcoin is known to crash.
Hmm.
and then come back. It could crash all the way to 20. Like you just don't know. So I would never put money that's needed that you need for your personal life, your well-being. I wouldn't put that into something like Bitcoin. Just be careful, but it is speculated to go higher nearing the Bitcoin halving.
Yeah, and it could be like one of those buy the rumor, sell the news is moving really crazy now. Once it does hit the halving, it might do a little pillow, but all that is speculation. I feel like I'm agreeing with you. I think Bitcoin is definitely going to be higher by the end of the year than it is right now. So yeah, we do have to wait and see for that one. And I mean the indexes too. The indexes have been going up. QQQ, SPY, both up 10% since the year started.
Which is
Um,
good.
yeah, which is good. And I think again the normal return that you're expecting on these is where it's at right now, 10 to
Yeah.
12%. But we've seen SPY do more than that in the past years, especially QQQ because of the tech and how it's been moving. QQQ has done more than 10% over the past year, right?
Yeah.
Um, but right now it's already at its expected return, which is 10, like between 10 and 12%. So really, it's a good time to be in the stock. Is what I'm
It's a,
saying.
it's a
Yeah.
good time. Just remember when the stock market is at all-time highs, this is not when you want to put a huge lump sum of money in. So you
Mhm.
want a dollar cost average, and when you get those pullbacks, those drops, that's when you get more aggressive. So just remember that if you're new, and yeah, tread lightly.
Mhm.
So with all this, up moving, we do have something that's stagnant. I know at the beginning of this year they were talking about interest rate cuts. So looking at inflation, they decided not to proceed yet. So they put a pause on actually cutting the interest rates. So right now that has remained stagnant. Um, Once they do start cutting, people speculate more demand when it comes to real estate. So we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, I just me personally, I can't imagine. Experienced realtors keep explaining to me, and it makes sense that that it's going to continue to go up, that the housing market is going to continue to go up. But what doesn't make sense for me is what happens when no one can afford anything. You see what I'm saying? Because when mortgages go up, rent goes up. And if no one's able to rent anything, how are people able to live? So that's my biggest thing. And I'm just, to what end? That's
Mhm.
that's my main question. Yeah, it's going up. Yes, real estate appreciates, but to what end? Especially when real estate is appreciating faster than salary. Then
Yes,
so how is this possible? And how long can this happen?
I think people will become eternal renters, and their rental situation will become more and more uncomfortable. That's what I imagine. Instead of it just being you getting a one bedroom, one bathroom, and you being the only person there, you'll get a one bedroom, one bathroom with a roommate to help offset the rent costs. Like I imagine that unless people start to do things like go and get a piece of their own home or like get into not even getting into real estate, just buying something that they can claim as theirs, where they have a set mortgage and they can't just get a rent increase because their landlord told them that the rent prices go up. I think that people will just become more and more uncomfortable. At least that's what I've noticed out here. You have a two bedroom, two bathroom with four people living in the house. That normally it's supposed to be two people, but now it's four because you need more people to help pay the cost of rent. But I do agree with you. I think that the price of housing, similar to the stock market, it just is going to continue to go up. And as well, whenever they do decide to cut rates, uh, it's going to be a frenzy like it was in 2020, 2021, where everyone's trying to purchase a home. But I think that people will have less money now. I don't know if that makes sense because I feel like the government was giving out a lot of free money.
Agreed.
Free money, but a lot of money in 2020, 2021, right? Whether
That
it was
does make sense. Yes,
yeah,
because yeah, the government
yeah,
was giving out a lot of money. I don't want
government
people to
was
say
giving
that.
out money, and I also think now that people aren't able to finesse like they did back then. No one knew what was happening in 2020 and 2021. People were getting paid still, and then their jobs were just like, well, we're figuring it out. Like we don't know what's happening, but you can just chill right now. We're still going to pay you. We're back to regular life for the most part, right? So I don't think that it's going to be I don't think it's going to be as crazy of a frenzy that it was in 2020 and 2021, but it's not going to be where it is now, where you have houses sitting on the market for 3 months before someone buys it. You're going to have a house sitting on the market maybe like a month. You know what I mean? It's not going to be any longer than that when interest rates decide to go down.
Yeah,
You feel me?
you can
So
afford more house.
you can afford exactly you can afford more house because
Yeah,
all the interest rate does when purchasing a house increase your monthly payment. And it's good to think forward and say, all right, they're planning on decreasing interest rates, like they're planning on cutting interest rates. Let me get into a house now and refinance. But that's still a year of you paying a heavy mortgage. You feel me?
but
So
what's a year?
that's
So
true.
yeah,
That's true. It's just a year of, for a lifetime. That's the trade-off, right?
right.
Essentially. But I think that's what scares a lot of people. That's what scares a lot of people from getting into housing now. It's like they've already talked about cutting rates. So why not get into the crib now if I have the means to do it? And when they cut rates, refinance, get the lower rate. Instead of me waiting for them to cut rates and then fight tooth and nail while everyone else is also trying to get a house.
Right.
So yeah, I think the interest rate cut talk has definitely compel people to purchase, but it's also having people wait on the sidelines and wait for it to happen so that they can purchase too. So it's doing a couple things.
I agree.
Yeah, but not just with the real estate. I also think it's affecting the stock market too, because interest rate cuts don't make it cheaper for like consumers to purchase homes. It also makes it cheaper for businesses to borrow money. So
Yes.
business can do more things. They can experiment more. They can raise more capital. They can borrow more money from banks because they're doing it at a lower rate. So the talk of federal rate cuts, I think, also play into this increased stock market that we've been seeing, this bull market that we've been seeing.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a combination, man. What happens when they actually cut the rates? I'm interested to see.
Me
But
too. Me
but
too.
yeah, I think that the interest rate cut conversation has definitely moved the stock market up and affected the real estate market for sure. It
Yeah.
is,
And
yeah, yeah, for
all
sure.
all I can say is it is a great time to be a homeowner. That's all I can say because it's just the uncertainty, man. Just not knowing what's about to happen next. But no, I agree. It's done great things. This first quarter has been great to the stock market, great to the crypto market, and caused uncertainty for the real estate market for sure.
Mhm,
Uh, but as we said, this year has been great. It's been a great start, even for Investors Playbook. You
mhm,
know, as we try to expand our reach to give you all knowledge on financial literacy. We aim to change lives, and with reach, we can change more lives. So we're always looking to reach more people, more businesses, have more partnerships. That's always the goal. The goal with us. Um, just in this year we achieved and we're a year in and we're continuously growing, and as we grow I feel like we're growing at a faster rate also. But on YouTube, we reached 130 subscribers, and we appreciate each and every one of you, especially the people that are tuning into our lives. On IG, we reached nearly 1,200 followers on IG. This is where we post most of our content. We post daily. We also we we did 31 episodes of this podcast.
Mhm.
31. So that's 31 consecutive weeks. We have not missed one week where we provided to you all relevant information that can help you on your financial journey. We've done vendor spaces. Uh, we were at Stonecrest, and we were able to talk to the community about financial literacy, see what the people had to say, and see how we can provide information to them, what they would like to see, what they would like to know more about. We have a book festival coming up on April the 20th. This is our first book fair. So I know I'm really excited about it. I know Deshaun is also.
Mhm.
And we hope to meet a lot of people out there and just, expand our reach to give the people more knowledge on financial literacy. And
Yeah,
also, I'm
my
sorry.
let me just interject real quick. We started a year ago. Like we started this company a year ago. But when it comes to the growth, like our social growth, we didn't start like digging into it until like maybe maybe like it wasn't a year ago when we started digging into the Instagram, to be
You're right.
honest. And the growth has like all I can say is thank you to the people that are following, right? Because it has been a like the consistent posting, the consistent giving financial education, giving financial knowledge, going in person, talking to people about it. Like all of these opportunities that we've been given has been great, man. I just wanted to say, bro, like and it's crazy because I'm scrolling through our Instagram, I'm seeing all the stuff we've done. It's like, dang, I forgot. We really been rocking, bro. Like
Yeah,
for
sure.
real. We have definitely been rocking. Like yeah, man, and I love it. I love it. So, like, yeah, that was it, bro. I just wanted to say, like, we just in these 3 months, we're already on track to hitting the goals that we set. You feel me? So excited to see what the next 3 quarters of 2024 brings. But please continue.
Yeah. And nah, but I'm right there with you, man. I agree with you 100%. And for the last thing, our community. We are back on Facebook. We just feel like most people have Facebook,
Mhm.
and it's just easily accessible. You can be scrolling down your page and then you see, bam, there's a message from Investors Playbook, and then you open up that notification, and then you get that gem that you needed that you can start on right then and there. So yeah, so Facebook is where we're at. Please engage with us, and we appreciate everyone that's in that group. So yeah, check us out, Investors Playbook on Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it's been a good first quarter. I think something else that we've changed up, man. We've had guests. Well, no, we had a guest on the podcast last year, but we'll be doing more of that, right? So
yeah,
that has been a huge change in our the way we do our YouTube lives or our podcast is getting other people to come talk about their brand, talk about their niche, talk about what they do to make money and just continuing to do that is something that I know both of us are interested in. So looking forward to having more guests on the podcast. If you want to, come talk about what it is that you do, if it's making you money, let us know, man. We definitely want to have you on the podcast. It doesn't have to be surrounded around 401ks and finances. It's just we want. This is a very a dynamic world we live in, and we want to know how people are just making ends meet or making success happen for them. I should say that. So definitely, and getting more guests on the podcast and having the guests that we've had so far has been great. I've loved to have the opportunity to have those people come and just kind of say what it is that they do and give our audience a taste of what it is to be what it is, whatever their business is. So
right. And
yeah.
each member that we've had on here has been outstanding, man. Like from Ashley with her real estate investing to
Mhm.
Rick with him being a real estate not an investor.
Real
He
estate
was a real estate agent. Thank you. I couldn't find my words. So yeah, with him being a real estate agent, with Ashley in her
SEO.
design, SEOs, digital marketing, and
We had
then
who did the futures.
yes. So
Yeah,
each one of them provided information. I learned from each of them. to be
Yes.
honest. So I already know that people that listen to those episodes, and if you haven't listened to them, make sure you go back and listen to them because they're
Oh,
dope.
seriously.
They're dope. I
Yeah.
said listen to them like 5 times. I was like, God, dog. But
Listen to the episodes, okay?
just listen. But nah.
Listen to the episodes.
But
Nice.
as always, you can find us on social media handles, Investors Playbook LLC,
Mhm.
and on our website, www.investorsplaybookllc.com. We always appreciate the support. And yeah, we hope you learn something for you and your family and your future generations. And yeah, let's make this money.
Let's get it. All right, man. Another good week. Another good episode. Peace out.
Peace.